If you're out there struggling with control and speed of your paradiddles, this video is going to show you some secret tricks to help that. I remember when I first started learning paradiddles and my brain really couldn't conceptually understand this rudiment as any more than just a different way to stick a 4-note grouping. And at that time I was first learning paradiddles. Obviously I couldn't play paradiddles very fast. I knew that I wanted to put an accent on the first note because that's the way that it's written on the Percussive Arts Society 40 Rudiments sheet, but I still didn't understand why are we playing these 4 notes with this particular sticking, when I could easily just play these 4 notes as singles and put an accent on the first note. At that point in time, my hands were much faster at being able to play singles than they were to be able to play paradiddles. It wasn't until I was able to get my double stroke roll really clean that I was able to unlock a new speed and control on my paradiddles. Because spoiler alert, the big secret to playing paradiddles and paradiddle diddles very fast and all of these other rudiments that involve low doubles is that the double strokes at the faster tempos are bounced. They're not fully stroked out. When I'm playing paradiddles at this speed, every diddle of the paradiddle, I'm playing as a bounced double stroke. And as we go through these different breakdowns of a paradiddle, there will be a PDF of the exercise that I'm referring to down in the description of this video. You will be able to isolate each of these breakdowns and identify exactly what is holding your hands back in terms of gaining the next level of control and speed. Paradiddles are so much more than just a sticking pattern, especially when it applies to drum set. They allow you to move around the kit in ways that flow much better as opposed to if you were just playing singles around the kit the whole time. And they often can allow you to play even faster fills because you're able to incorporate double strokes along with the singles. So let's get into the breakdown here. In the most simple form possible of a paradiddle, our hands are essentially playing a double stroke roll where the first note of each double is accented and the second note of each double is a tap. It looks something like this. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Now, if you're thinking that does not make any sense, that doesn't sound like a paradiddle at all, I totally understand, but hang with me. We're gonna call this pattern our check pattern, and we're gonna constantly come back to it in this exercise. So again, start by just playing the check pattern, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. And the really important thing behind this is that you're feeling a good downstroke on each of these accents. And the second note of each double, you're playing low and controlling that height. If I add the first inner note of the paradiddle, which occurs in the opposite hand, we now have this rhythm of 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4E and. Again, I'm thinking about getting a nice solid accent in each of these downbeats, but making sure to play them as downstrokes and keeping all of the other notes nice and low. So try practicing just going between the check pattern and then that first variation. It's going to sound like this. Check, 2, 3, 4, 1E and, 2E and, 3E and, 4. Back to check. The second variation is where we add the diddle part of the paradiddle. And again, in drum language, whenever we say diddle, that just means double. So that is where the double sticking occurs in the paradiddle. So we now have the rhythm of 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, with the sticking of right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 left, left, left. This is by far the most awkward breakdown for your hands to understand, and starting a diddle at a low height like that after you've just played a downstroke can feel kind of weird in the hands at first. Let's try going between the check and the second variation. Back to check. So if we combine those two variations, and that gets us the full paradiddle sticking. And if we play through this whole exercise, we will constantly be going back to that check pattern to once again check in with our technique and make sure that we're playing these heights correctly before we add any of the variations. So the whole exercise is now going to sound like this. One measure of check, one measure of the first variation, back to a measure of check, one measure of the second variation, back to a measure of check, and then 3 measures of paradiddles. Putting it all together, it's going to sound like this. Now each time you add one of those variations, I want you to think about how it felt when you were just playing the check pattern, because the mechanics are the same. At slower tempos, the diddle in all of the paradiddles are obviously going to be stroked out. If we were to let it bounce at that speed, the notes would not be even and the double would be too compressed. But now as we start to get faster, you're going to notice on that second variation, we are now going to let the diddle bounce at that low height. Let's try this a little faster. So even at that kind of medium tempo, I'm already starting to experiment with letting those low diddles bounce. Let's try it even faster. So the beautiful thing about this exercise is that it's short and it's simple, and it immediately helps you identify which part of the paradiddle breakdown is hanging up your hands from going faster. I know for me, it's the second variation that I'm still working on getting faster. That's the thing that's holding back my paradiddle speed right now, that I'm continuing to practice to try to get faster. Now in terms of applying this to drum sets, you could put every right hand accent on a floor tom and every left hand accent on the first rack tom. If you were to play through the exercise with that sort of a breakdown, it would sound like this. So I hope this breakdown kind of demystifies some of the secrets in playing fast paradiddles. It's a lot about stick control, height control, making sure we're keeping those doubles low, we're getting a good downstroke with each of the accents, and we're allowing those low diddles to bounce at the faster speeds. Start incorporating this paradiddle breakdown into your practice routine, and I promise you're gonna start to see results. And once it clicks in your body and your mind to let those sticks bounce on those low doubles, you're gonna be amazed at how much faster you can play paradiddles. If you appreciate the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.